Always one of my favorite parts of the week when Coach Wilson stops by. Thanks for joining us again, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
That win on Saturday had to feel especially sweet.
Fulfilling for a team that had worked extremely hard from fall camp all the way up until week 1 of the season, and were not able to cash in the first 3 weeks. Finally able to reap what you had sown for so long, and to see our team happiness at the end of a game was certainly gratifying for me to see those young men bask in victory.
You talked leading up to the game about how they're human beings.
Yeah.
You know, they know what's going on, and after the first 3 games, they felt it, and they wanted nothing more than to get a W on the board. It's funny how fans kind of forget that, especially with collegiate players, because they're such young men.
Right.
There's that element that needs to be taken into and really coached up as well when you head up to a big ball game like that.
Yeah, we're still in a nurturing business. They're not pros. Some aspire to be, and some may be, but we get them as young as 18 and as youthful as 22, 23, and then they're going on to the real world. And we know how sensitive that age time span is for these young men as they're trying to navigate and the quest of finding this thing we call manhood. And so there are a lot of things that happen in their personal life, their academic life, their social life that has to be melted in with their football life. And it affects one way or the other how they perform based on how those other things fall into place.
Now, it's not a conference game, but does a game like this one, where you're playing at a school that's right up the road, where the kids know each other, where the fan bases, know each other really well, and they're that close in proximity as well, does that win mean more than others in terms of recruiting, in terms of branding, in terms of maybe the things that go outside of sports that maybe we don't pay attention to outside of X's and O's?
Yeah, I don't. There's not many times that we really bump into each other for the same recruits, with all due respect. But bragging rights, the humanistic part of it, of the school that's down the road right there on I-35, the HEB talk, the barber talk, the restaurant talk, you darn sure better beat that team. And I think there's some side of that happens with the common folk. For us, we needed a win. We needed a win bad, and Texas State just happened to be the team that we were playing on the weekend that we were fortunate enough to get the win.
Now, while that one wasn't a conference game, as we talked about, this coming one is. So your thought now into getting into Conference USA play?
It's the most important game. It's the most important game as we open conference play because there's a lot at stake. Our ability to compete for and to be in consideration for a conference championship, our ability to be in position and consideration for a bowl game, all that lies within what's going to happen in these next several weeks starting on Saturday.
And you get to be home for it, too.
Yeah,
so maybe that excitement that was there for this past weekend and the Baylor game, too, maybe carries over into Saturday as well.
We're hopeful. Our student section, our fan base have been phenomenal in these first 2 appearances. Hopefully, we're able to continue to play well enough to create the excitement of our brand and style of football.
Yeah. And again, it's set for Saturday, 6 o'clock. We're going to have the highlights and post-game reaction, unless it goes way long, Coach, and you guys play another 5 overtime game or something along those lines.
That's not the plan.
That's not the plan. Outside of that, highlights, post-game reaction right here on Sports Tonight at 10. And then again, the bonus show, Sports Tonight late night at 10:30. Coach, always a pleasure. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You're watching Sports Tonight, San Antonio's only nightly 30-minute sportscast with exclusive sports coverage you won't find anywhere else.